Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Democracy 3. My name, of course, is Obbit Potato, and we're playing as the UK. Now, today we're going to go for a grand total of 7 likes. 7 likes is the most I've ever asked for, so hopefully we can smash that like button and we can make me a happy guy. Right, now today is going to be the last episode that we are playing as the UK, and the reason that we're gonna say this is the last episode is it's because it's getting to the late stages of the game, and in the late stages of the game, nothing much changes. I mean, we've got this problem with cyclones, we've got this problem with the water shortage, and that is affecting the food price, and this pollution problem is not the best. And that's not saying that I'm a coward. I'm not stopping because it's not interesting anymore. It definitely is interesting. However, we definitely want to get on to bigger and newer things, such as going for that religious achievement and trying to make 100% of our population religious. As you can see, obviously at the moment, 0% of our population is religious. So we're going to go for that one next, I think, in the next playthrough. But for now, let's get back to the UK. Let's see what's happening. Now, somebody left a very interesting comment on the video, and that was, of course, by Yezen Talal, even. Sorry if I butchered that name, which I very clearly did. Now, you've left me a long list of policies that I should definitely introduce. You should legalize drugs so that you can tax legal drugs. You should put abortion on demand because the liberal population is a lot bigger than the conservative population. You should implement youth clubs and other social liberal policies which can lower crime. Yes, you are completely right. Yeah, you're definitely right, and I hinted at the end of the last episode that we'd probably be pursuing a more liberal path this turn. So you know what, we're gonna go for that, and you are completely right. There's no religious people to get pissed off by us, so that's nice. It's gonna boost our GDP a little bit, and the liberal population are gonna be very happy. So hopefully this little GDP boost, should I say, will offset those pollution controls that we introduced at the end of last episode. So that is the plan anyway. Hopefully that's what happens, but hey ho. We also need to introduce abortion. Now, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able to introduce it this turn. And is it even in Law and Order? I think we might already have it introduced. That's prostitution. Is this abortion? That's narcotics. Or abortion. Is that down here? I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember where abortion was, actually. Race discrimination. Oh, goodness sake, actually. Liberals. Liberals like abortion. I don't think we've introduced it. No, we haven't. So that must mean it's in here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Over here? Abortion. It's a pretty grim topic. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty grim, but I think it's probably the right thing to do if we do introduce it. I can't find it though. I cannot find it. Tasers. It wouldn't be in Law and Order. Well, it might be actually. Youth Politics Council. That's probably something that we could introduce. Organ donation. Yeah, so it must be here. Abortion. Stem cells, organ donations. Am I just missing it? Am I just being really dumb and missing it? I don't really know. Youth club subsidies. Let's introduce that now. We might as well. It's going to reduce crime a little bit, so that's fine. Legal drug consumption. We haven't actually legalized that yet, so we probably will in the coming terms. We're in the coming turns, even, should I say? We're going to keep him here because the liberals will like us. And then we'll head to the next turn and hope that our country doesn't end up in a complete mess. Health. What's up with health? Oh yeah, we had that little biohazard thing that killed off health a little bit. Flag burning. As much as it pains me to do so, I think we're going to allow flag burning because we need to appeal to the liberal population who seem to be liking us a heck of a lot more, which is actually awesome. Okay, abortion law. We found it. I found it. I was an idiot. On demand. We're going to do it, even though it's not going to make liberals much happier with us. It's just going to piss off the religious people and the conservatives. That doesn't matter though. We're going to do it because, I'm going to follow your recommendations here. Okay, so now law and order. We need to legalize drugs. Now, how do we do that? How do we do that? It would be in here. I'm almost certain it would be in here. It's not here. That's not how you do it. Legal drug consumption. Narcotics. Okay. Legalize cannabis. Well, what do you think we should do, Mr. Yazan Talal? I'm not entirely sure. We've legalized prostitution. Yep. We're implementing the stuff that you say. We're gonna legalize all drugs. Legalize all drugs. Is that really what you want? I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna legalize all drugs. We're gonna do it next turn, obviously, when we have the political capital to do so. Hopefully we will actually have the political capital to do so. We won't. It's going to take us 2 turns. That's great. Hey ho, we will eventually get there, so that's not a problem. And then also we're going to start introducing more youth-orientated policies, so that should be fine. Man on Mars. The whole country cheers as the first citizen of your country sets foot on Mars. It's a small step for her, but a giant leap for mankind. Woohoo! We did it. We absolutely did it. Perhaps they're going to go on and found the Mars base that I created in Sol Zero. Who knows? Who knows indeed? If you haven't checked out that series, then visit the channel. It's a pretty interesting Mars colonization game actually. It's pretty cool. But we're playing Democracy 3, so let's get back to the task at hand. We need to continue introducing youth policies. And is that in here? Yes, it is in here. Youth Politics Council. That's another youth-orientated policy. So we're going to introduce that. Why not? Might as well. There's nothing else that we sort of need to do that's youthy, and the youth will like us a little bit more. Is it worth £500 million just to appease the youth? I'm not entirely sure it is. But hey ho, there's nothing we can really do about it. This real estate bubble is a little bit of an issue for us. And there's literally no way we can just cut back on immigration. There's just no way whatsoever. Without our GDP actually getting lower, there's no way. Compulsory language lessons. This boosts international trade, so I am somewhat skeptical about cancelling this policy, even though it would probably be a good idea. But I don't think we're going to do that though. We're just gonna stick on the path that we've sort of planned out for us. We can't legalize abortion, or no, we have legalized abortion. We can't legalize marijuana this turn, I don't think, or legal drug consumption, or legalize cannabis, or legalize all narcotics, or whatever it was. I can't quite recall what it was. Housing expansion. We are of course going to relax planning restrictions because that'll help get rid of, hopefully, this housing bubble, this real estate bubble that we have going on at the moment. Narcotics. Yeah, legalize all drugs. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. It's going to boost crime by 22%. However, hey ho, we might as well go for it. Yeah, let's go for it. And then we can start introducing taxes on recreational drugs. Yeah, we might as well. Let's introduce that right now. Recreational drugs tax. Recreational drug tax. Yeah, I don't know how much we should tax it. I mean, a high tax maybe. Let's leave it at medium for now, and then see what happens as it develops. That's probably the right thing to do. So we are fine. Our country hasn't imploded, even though it's rather being changed up quite a lot in the last couple of days. That's okay. We're gonna head to the next turn. Egalitarian society has now ended. That's a little bit annoying actually, because I thought our equality was doing pretty well. Refused to sign the agreement. It doesn't really matter anyway. I mean, it changes relatively little in comparison to the whole game. With our remaining sort of money, I think we're probably gonna reduce this flat income tax. Could perhaps reduce it by that much. I don't know how much that is, but that should be fine. Hopefully we'll still be running a surplus. If we're not, budget deficit's fine. Okay, we're running a slight budget deficit. That's not really an issue. Drug addiction. Oh, great. Great. We have problems with drug addiction now. Unsurprisingly, that's not really that's not really surprising. Um, yeah, this is what happens when when you legalize all drugs. That's pretty apparent. Now, obviously, our health is going down because everybody's addicted to drugs, which is worrying to say the least. But hopefully, we should actually be making some money. Hopefully, anyway. Where is the legal drug consumption? Okay, so the recreational drugs tax is down here. How much are we actually making? We're making 11.51 billion. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good policy actually. If we wanted to actually legalize drugs, but we don't really, because as you can see, it leads to some very severe health benefits or health negativities, I would say. Okay, let's get back to reality. How are we going to conquer this real estate bubble? There's pretty much no way in which we can do that. Something that I was thinking of doing that wouldn't really help us now, but perhaps maybe would help us in the future, is, I'm just looking for it now, would be if we closed airports completely. That would really cut back on the pollution side of things, but it would also help because it would also help GDP, and that would probably work. Limit or ban cars in cities. That could work as well. However, pollution looks like it's sort of getting a grip. Looks like the environment is actually taking effect. Pollution controls are almost fully implemented. So that'll be nice. I think, in this episode, since it's the last episode, we can probably get to the election. 5 turns. That's pretty doable. We're gonna try and make that. By the way, 7 likes I think we're going for in this episode. So make sure you smash that like button. People smuggling, we're gonna deport them. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. We're running a budget deficit. That's not really very good at all. In fact, you know what we're gonna do? In fact, you know what we can do? We can just cancel this policy. This is gonna lead to us to losing 200 billion per turn, which is absolutely crazy. But at the same time, we have reserves to cope with that, so we might as well use them, since since we're never going to use them again, because this is the last episode ever. I know you're very disappointed, but hey ho. We can also cancel this policy. Let's cancel it. Let's absolutely cancel it. Let's look at our income. What's our income? Property tax? Well, we can cancel that next turn, hopefully. We could lower it, actually. Lower it to almost nothing, but I think we're probably going to cancel it. Government borrowing, it says that that's 436 billion. That's not actually correct, because we are actually sort of, we are obviously going to pay for it through the fact that we've already accumulated such a large amount of money. It doesn't really matter who we hire, so let's just hire anybody. Let's go to the next turn and see what's the story. Okay, rare earth crisis. Why is this developed? Why has this developed? It shouldn't have developed. I introduced the rare earth metal mining specifically so this wouldn't happen. That's very strange indeed. That is very strange indeed. Market meltdown. Okay, our GDP is gonna be further lowered, and we're gonna be collecting very little in actual tax. Obesity. Don't know why I clicked on that. Our income is only 60.08 billion. So that's fine. We don't have enough money or we don't have enough political capital to actually cancel that policy. So we're probably just gonna keep it like that. Let's have a look at how our reserves of cash are actually doing. Our mighty reserves. Yeah, they're starting to decrease. But quite honestly, we're in a fine situation because we are just 2 turns away from the general election, and that's not really going to be too much of an issue for us. Technological advantage is now at an end. That's because we've got the rare earth crisis that seriously bites into the technological advantage. So that's not surprising. Doesn't really matter what we click. Not even going to bother to read it. We're still running a budget deficit of 436 billion. So that is a heck of a lot of money. That's a lot of money that we do not have. But that doesn't really matter because it's time. It is time for the election, the last election as the UK in this series of Democracy 3. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's certainly been a good one. We've seen a very, very, very successful country as the United Kingdom, and we've grown with it, you know, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed playing it. I really hope you've enjoyed watching with me. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last time, my name's been Orbit Potato. If you've enjoyed them, please remember to like and subscribe. We're going for 7 likes, so smash that like button. And I will see you in a new series of Democracy 3!